Hey guys, and welcome to game number 1 of the series game number 2 of the series, my bad, we have Epex Apocalypse on the Hunter side versus the Tom Monster Karmatorus, who actually is playing Wraith this game versus a Kyra Hank lineup with Abe and Hyde, so they're going to be able to deal tons and tons of damage. And of course, with me is going to be Admiral Nakamov, the one, the only general, and he'll be helping us cast this game today.
Excited to see a Wraith. I think this is the first game I've seen a Wraith in.
Yeah, it's Wraith isn't commonly picked. We've seen him starting to get a little bit of a she's starting to get a little bit of a resurgence lately because Wraith is a woman, although you wouldn't know it if you looked at her. But it is a woman, and she is slowly creeping her way back in, I want to say, as we're starting to see more of them just going for that burst stage 2 fights. And I don't know how they're going to do with this, but it looks like a very strong. We do, of course, see the voodoo skin, so we probably black magic going on in this game. A little bit of, witchcraft, and you got to keep control of that witchcraft, right? I know, is that within the rules of ESL? Is witchcraft allowed?
It's not explicitly stated that you're not allowed to perform witchcraft, so I'm going to assume that it is under ESL rules.
Alright, well, it's not explicitly stated again, so I guess it's within it. That's a good logic as any. We see Karmatorus actually going for stealth right off the start, going to be boosting her way across, going to be pushing her way up north, actually triggering a little bit on the environment there, so if they do notice that those tires moved just that little tiny pixel to the left, they're going to know exactly where she's going. As he pushes his way more and more towards the northwest, we'll have to see exactly where they go, because War Doom now is responsible for locating this monster.
Oh, I'd like to apologize. I was wrong about the map they were on last game. I misspoke. But
oh, okay.
Anyway, since we're talking about the Wraith, this is the first time we've seen the Wraith so far. What does he want to do that's different from the Kraken or the Goliath?
The Kraken is an airborne assault. Like, he's just that airborne artillery guy in the sky. Goliath is that brawler, walks right up, starts punching you in the face, and he's that big hulking mess of a monster, and he can just do whatever he wants. And Wraith is a little different. Wraith, you have to actually pick people off, and you don't actually go for the full engage. Domes are a nightmare for Wraiths, because Wraiths don't have a high health pool. As you can see here, the armor count is extremely low. Although the armor's it's the same length, but the armor and health pool itself is actually significantly smaller on the Wraith as opposed to the Kraken or the Goliath. And we do see a decoy there, so we see a Warblast decoy build. We're not sure exactly where the points are spent. And he's going to be trying to push his way around, just stealthing past them. I mean, do get the tracking dart in from War Doom, and they're going to be seeing what they can do. Warp Blast coming in to try and get a little bit of distance. Doesn't want to get domed here. War Doom right now is right on the pursuit. He's at 35 meters. He is holding the dome, so it looks like they're going to be looking to catch him on the Evolve.
So, continuing to talk about the Wraith, because I'm super excited about this pick. I know you're an avid Wraith player. What do you want to be doing apart from getting those pickoffs? How do you want to be moving around the map versus the Hunters? And how do you
want to be basically doing exactly what occurred there, okay? As you see right there, he went along this ridge, which forced the Hunter team to decide who's going to flush and who's going to chase the monster, right? And who's going to be the one that does it? And you have to choose. There's no point. The terrain, if you don't choose, the Wraith's just going to go back through it, right? And you have no control over where the monster's going. As much as you might have a tracking dart in, you won't be aware of what's going on immediately because the tracking dart only updates once per second, right? So you have a little bit of variance time there. With the Wraith, and when you force them to do those split-offs there, like right here, you're seeing it again on the left, you see War Doom is actually going into the front, while Bugsy was actually a little bit on the left. Wraith rotated in to try and see if she can get a pick off on the medic. Unable to get so, doesn't do anything else. Throws out a decoy to try and get a little bit of harass. Stasis Grenade, though, is pretty much stopping all movement as they're on the pursuit. But that's what you want. You want to be able to cut off the enemy team or the Hunter team with the terrain, and you want to be able to get those pickoffs in those scenarios.
It makes good sense. So, how does this work into the whole dome strat? So you've said that he wants to be avoiding them, and the Hunters want to be flushing, but with the Wraith moving around, they want to catch him in that dome when he evolves? How does he evolve and avoid that dome?
He needs to gain space, and he needs to keep them along the perimeter of the map, which is what he's doing right now. As you notice, he's actually pulling them further and further north and south along that little perimeter because he wants to lose them, and he's trying to stealth out that time where the tracking dart's actually in his system. If he can get rid of that tracking dart, he'll be able to patrol the map and be free. Right now he's at 75 meters, which is just outside dome distance. So and now they're within dome distance, and they're able to pick him off. And he's just building up his evolve meter, so he hasn't had it this entire time. Although he's just trying to get his food in and just trying to see what he can get. But that's what you got to do, is you got to pull them up, get rid of the tracking dart, and you just got to get your space. Otherwise, you're in for a rough time.
So there, when they were within dome distance, do you think it would be worth it for the hunters to throw down a dome and catch him in there, since they know where he is and they have the tracking dart on him, just to get that damage?
Part of the greatness of this composition and the ability to hold the dome is the dome itself gives you so much control, and it tells the monster, hey, we haven't domed you yet. We still have dome available, so if you evolve and we're within distance, you're getting domed, and you're going to have no armor. And Wraith with no armor is just no. It's just death waiting to happen. So you're asking for basically to be slaughtered if you evolve as a Wraith in a situation where you're going to get domed. So you need to either A, get out that dome, or B, lose the Hunter team in order to gain enough space to get the dome off. And yeah, he's actually forcing an engage here, trying to see if he can get a pick off. And yeah, the other team showed up, so he's like, alright, I'm out. Oh, and we do see Medic right now actually just running into a little bit of problem with another plant. Plants seem to be MVPs this week.
Yeah. Maybe Bugsy just is a gardener in real life, so he gravitates naturally towards plants.
Well, you know, Bugs Bunny was always a fan of his carrots, so maybe he just mistook it. Who knows?
Possible. Very possible. Still, a lot of difficulty evading the hunters here for the Wraith.
Yeah, and he's just unable to get this distance. And he's using all his traversals and everything to try and get it. He's using his decoys to go back and harass while he's going to push through. The Warp Blast is going through, and I think he might be going up top to get his evolve in a safe location. Because he has a full meter. I think he's just giving up on it. Yep. And he's just going to go for the evolve. He's just, screw it. I'm just going to take the evolve where I can. Which, oh man, if Hyde gets up there, that's a large amount of damage. Oh man, let's see what Kildrith does. He get the grenade off. Oh man, they're just melting through that armor. The Toxic Grenade does connect. They're dealing so much damage. Flame is on the face! And we see 3-point Warp Blast, 3-point Decoy as he's just getting flamed to death. Warp Blast comes in and doesn't connect with anyone. Trying to hide on the low ground. Going to be thrown out the Decoy shortly as he's just trying to buy himself time as he needs to just survive this dome. If he survives this dome, he's in a good spot. He only lost half health, but he's in for some hurt if he doesn't. Like, oh man, this flame is just getting burned on. The slow from the Ave is just slowing him down to a crawl, and he can't run from the fire. Through the fire and the flames, we're not sure if he's going to live on in this scenario. Warp Blast comes in, connects with Kildrith, bringing down to half. Orbital Barrage coming in, doesn't connect, and he's going to be trying to survive Decoy or going in for the harassment. Going to be going up to the high ground, trying to hide away from them as he is invisible, hiding behind this corner, trying to use it for his protection, down to about 25% HP on the monster. Needs to survive another 13 seconds, and he'll be out of this dome. Going to be pushing his way around, get his swipe on Kildrith. Going to be down to 20% HP, 15% HP. Warp Blast comes in, goes for the connect. It's trying to get some armor, unable to get it. Toxic Grenade gets thrown on the corpse, making sure he can't eat. As we see, a monster right now is going down. Monster slain, kill confirmed. Hunters win round 1 of Epex versus Todd, which brings it to a 2-2 score.
Yeah, a little bit one-sided even from the beginning. The Wraith got his... He managed to eat, but he never had the opportunity to get away from the Hunters. So really nice play from the Abe and from the Medic there, just to stay on top of him.
Yeah, and that does bring it to a 2-0 score. So we're looking to get into the next game, which is going to be Shenanigans on Monster, and it's right now 2-0, which means Shenanigans has a lot of playable room, so who knows, he might do something a little bit different just to try it out and see how it does, and we'll have to see what's going on. Just in the meantime, guys, we're going to do a quick fade in, fade out, and we'll do some post-game analysis. Back in just a moment.